I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's you lost, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind, I'm in a
Stop to this fight at 1 minute 44 seconds into round number 4. For your winner by TKO, Austin, no doubt, Trout.
Welcome to No Doubt Sports with Austin, Trout and BigFace, and this is the and still edition of No Doubt Sports with my main man.
Still, I told him.
And still,
I told him. Right?
You
They
told him.
doubted, but they forgot my name.
Oh no! We'll never let that happen, baby. No doubt. There was no doubts. We talked many times leading up to it, but let's start out the show, man. First of all, from your boy right here, from everybody, congratulations, man, on another successful title defense.
Thank
over
you.
in Dubai International.
Oh man, shout out to World League of Fighters. That's the promotion company that put together the fights. A1 treatment from top to bottom. The show ran on time. You know, everything was on time. So shout out to them. Shout out to BKFC for going worldwide and making it smooth sailing, even though we're in someone else's backyard.
And you said yourself, hey, when I start defending the world title on the world stage, then it's a world title, right? And you was out there, and you, yeah. And they put a young buck in front of you that, hey, man, that's had a couple explosive wins, very explosive in there. You got a little trouble in the beginning. You got a little trouble in the first round there, right? He clipped you, you went down.
Yeah, it was a rough day in the office, but we got it done.
I mean, you didn't seem hurt. It was a flash knockdown. You got knocked down. You got your senses really quickly back, and back to you. So you were right back on it, and you actually, to me, won the rest of the first round, even though you got knocked down.
Yeah, and you know what? He was stronger than I thought. He was definitely a little bit faster than I thought, and he was actually longer than I thought. I knew he was long, but I didn't think he knew how to use it. As the fight went on, I think he ended up using it too much. As far as how the fight went, I ended up fighting like I was trying to take the belt, and he was fighting like he already had the belt. And I feel like that was the difference. I know he felt like he ended up winning the fight, but I don't see any way that he could have won that fight, even without the extra round. I think I won every round after the knockdown. And I'll stand on that. And in fact, I'll give him a rematch if he wants.
Oh, there we go. No, there's that champion's pride.
Things will be way different. And, don't let me see you twice. And
well, so let's talk about some of the details of the fight, champ. I mean, so Trinidad Snake, all respect to him, very good fighter, man, very good young fighter, going up against a world-class fighter as yourself. Now, you're right. I think he fought your fight. I mean, you're the champ, and everybody knows, especially in bare knuckle, you got to come take that belt. He allowed you to fight your fight, which you're a better outside fight. You can fight either fight, but outside, you're definitely experienced, and it's hard to beat you from the outside. And you use that body shot, use that left lead body shot all night long. He didn't have an answer for it, so it was there. It was there. And I know you were expecting him. I know you were expecting him to come forward and hook off that so you could do something, but he was just taking it.
Yeah, and if he just kept taking it, I'm just gonna keep taking it. I'm just keep giving it. You know what I'm saying? And I got bags of tricks, and so
Yes.
if you're gonna let one just keep working, and I don't have to really go in my bag, then that's your fault.
Well, and also, I add that, bias beside, I do a show. Of course, I'm friends with Austin, but man, I've been watching these fights. I've watched every single one, ladies and gentlemen, and I could not find a way where there should have been a 6th round. I've talked to a lot of fans and I was sitting with some, we ain't gonna name, who I hang out with, cats that know what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
man.
They can't find a way to give that. Even if you going in after that 5th round, there's no way it was 2-2 with a draw round or with a 10-8 round.
Well, I mean, the 10-8 round, then he had to win one more round, and we got to.
Yeah. But I mean,
you can't tell. I guess you could tell me which round he won. Maybe
Yeah. There's no dominant round where I guess you could have gave him one somewhere, but I was surprised, very, very surprised. I think a lot of people were that it was a 6th round. Let's talk about what happened in the 5th round that no one knows, and we will talk about right now. Tell him what happened. The true warrior in him.
5th round, probably like about a minute left. I threw a couple overhands. First one landed good. The second one didn't land so good, and I ended up breaking my radius. So I've been. This
See
is
what I'm saying right there. There you go. There's the X-rays.
Yeah, broke the radius bone. Got some pins and plate in there, so I'll be punching through some brick walls here next. Once I heal up fine. Closer and closer to being that Wolverine that I've always wanted to be.
My man,
get some animadium claws.
Yeah, keep getting those claws. You're getting closer and closer to Wolverine. I had to set up the Facebook was going crazy already. But I'm saying like this. Yeah, so my man, what he's saying to y'all is he went in there after the 5th round and had a broken arm in the 5th round, then fought the 6th and won the 6th round, which man,
I thought it was okay when I felt the moment I broke it. I threw it and he came close and he's got a hard head because I threw that thing hard. And bam. Broke straight through. I survived the rest of the round, or try to dominate, whatever you want to call it. And because it was the last round. So, I didn't take no time off. And then once I went back to my corner, I'm thinking, thank you, God, we're done.
Take me to the hospital because this is what you said. Everybody was celebrating the win.
I was in the hospital, yeah.
And you were in the hospital.
I told my coach, man, I messed my left hand up. And not really in those words, but
we lost the champ there. Lost both of us.
All right, we back.
Go ahead with your thought there, Austin.
Okay,
we lost you for a second. Yep.
So as I go back to my court, I put my hands up. I say my hand is messed up, and my coach goes, "What's it broken?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he just looks at it, he touches it, and he's about to start cutting my wraps off, and that's when the ref is like, "Seconds out. We got a 6 sudden match round, 6th round." I'm like, "Dang, all right." So I got to go ahead and matter of fact, quitting was never an option. I never thought about like, no, I can't go another round. My whole thought was, well, at least I got my jab. That's my favorite hand, my favorite punch anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I just right hand jab, hook, jab, uppercut, stab to the body, for the 6th round. And mind you, they told me the rules were that 6th round erases whatever happened in the rest of the fight. So we having us a split decision and calling out the scorecard. I didn't get that. Like,
if it's a sudden death round, which usually 6 rounds, a sudden death round means it was even, and that's it, right? So yeah, exactly. You're right. It was a little unusual. So,
I was like, all right, but I felt like I definitely because he still didn't have no sense of urgency, in my opinion. And I was one-handed, and thank God he didn't because.
Well, absolutely. And there was other injuries. Yeah. I know you don't want to complain, so I'm gonna complain for you because I know how you are. You're a warrior. I know you were dinged up, and we talked about that. I know you had a rib injury coming in from camp. I know you weren't going to say nothing because that's not your style, but, you fought through it. Shows the true champion heart. Once again, though, that 6th round was crazy, and I went back and rewatched it, and you tried to use that broken hand a couple times. I guess it was instinct, man. I know it had to hurt to use it, man.
That's probably why my junk was pushed over. If you saw, go look at the x-ray again. Thank God, Trinidad Snake don't know nothing about going to the body. That's all I can say.
Tucking the chin. Or tucking the chin.
Yeah, or tucking the chin. One bad body shot, it would have been, it could have been over for Buddy. Or for me, I should say, because
you would have been Buddy in that instance, I think.
Yeah, I would have been Buddy. No doubt.
But hey, great successful trip though. Talk about Dubai. How did you enjoy it, man? It looked beautiful. Yeah. Everything looked so beautiful over there.
Everything was great. Dubai is beautiful. The people are friendly, very welcoming. The crowd, the excitement, the energy was all, A+. So it was definitely a top-notch experience. Exactly what you would expect from Dubai.
Yeah, man. Everything looked good. The cards looked great. Once again, BKFC shining through. Conor McGregor. Did you get any time to talk to the crazy Irishman?
Well, I remember when I said I want the 155 champ, he reiterated 2-sport, 2-weight champ. I like it. So let's go.
yes.
Rico Tenalia, if he still got the belt, come on. I know they put some trinkets on Palomino at 55, but I would
You got the
take
king of the
that too.
streets. He's king of the streets.
He's a king of Miami, but I'm the king of this shit right here, man.
Hey, well, you are the king of the weight division for sure. And that
Yeah.
fight looms large in fans' minds. I know it is in your mind as well. The Palomino rematch. And
Run it.
everybody would love to see it. So it's to be a popular fight. We know that, right?
They could run it anytime. Send the contract. I've never said no.
I know you have never said no. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up that the other night there was a young fighter who fought. And after he won, the man, Bryce Henry, he won the fight. And he alluded that he would wanted to see the 155 or the 165-pound champ. That was his words. He ain't calling nobody specifically out.
I ain't hear
you
him say
happen
my
to be
name.
the 165 champ. And
Yeah.
BKFC seemed to they wanted to make it sound like he was calling you out. So
right. They added my name to it. He ain't say my name.
So address that, and I, if you think from a professional level that before that fight would ever happen, you'd have to do the Palomino rematch, right?
Let me give Palomino what he wants, because I would be damned if this boy says that I'm ducking him.
He would say it too.
One more time. We'll
and for the Emperor, man, I mean, let's be honest, he's been on a win streak too. He's been nothing but winning since he lost against you. He won in boxing. He
beat
won
Gabe Rosado, which is a good fight.
That's right, he did, and he came in there and he beat HD Davis, who's a phenomenal, talented young fighter. And he looked good. He looked in great shape, and he looks like he said, he's been working to change his game. Maybe he got a different game plan this time, no doubt.
I don't see what he thinks he can do, but let's try it.
It would still sell out in a couple different places. I know, probably every place, but definitely in a few places. And I do want to see you fight in your home area, while you have your title. I mean, you did promise. Remember when you won the title? You said,
"I did.
I'm a fighter. I'm bring the title back to Albuquerque. I will fight in New Mexico." Correct.
Las Cruces specifically.
That's right.
I'm gonna bring it back to Las Cruces because
the nuisance from Las Cruces.
Hey, I like it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, okay. We've talked a little. Your future looms. I mean, you are still the champ, and everybody got to come for the champ. So congratulations for the win in Dubai, man. Tougher than you thought, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And now we got a how long process until you back in the gym?
They said 2 months, and I could use my hand regularly, but I ain't no regular person. So 3 months before I can start punching again.
Yeah, but you'll be cardio and you'll be still. And so let's talk about.
I can run now.
The thing that's on your chest that keeps you active in between fights right here. I see the emblem. You're rocking. The Houston Hitmen right there, right? So let's talk about that. The TCL League.
Team. Yeah, the TCL Team Combat League, Houston Hitmen. I am the coach. We had our first fight last Friday. We have our next fight in Dallas this coming Friday. We leave out tomorrow or Thursday, actually, to make it for the weigh-ins. And it's a team boxing. And this, in my opinion, is what can save boxing, because you have 24 rounds, right? And we have about 16 fighters. One set of 8 goes the first round. The second set of 8 goes the second rounds. And then for the money rounds, we have I pick my 4 best matchups.
Okay.
And then they pick their 4 best matchups. And so they come back and do it again. And normally, these fights are etched out by 1 or 2 points. Like, it comes down to the wire.
So you're getting
23rd, 24th round.
To simplify that, you're getting those first matchups as just one-on-one, 1 round apiece. Correct. 4 matchups versus their 4. That's 8 fighters, right? Boom, boom. That's how you're getting action, right?
No, even more than that. So you have our 8 fighters
and 8.
8, and then that's the launch rounds. Then we have another 8 and 8. That's the middle rounds. And then we pick our best matchups, what we think are best matchups. A lot of times we've been watching those.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I see it. That's exciting.
And then we go and we put them back in the money rounds. This is winner takes all. A knockdown is 2 points. If you knock them down twice, you stop them, you get 3 points. If that person was picked for the money rounds, you end up getting 4 points, because that's an automatic loss. So a knockout to the right person is big time. Like, you could have somebody who lost 4 in a row, and then we stopped a guy who was about to be in the money rounds, and now we're tied up. You know what I'm saying? So it's.
Let me ask you this question: doesn't Miami have a team? Have y'all fought? You haven't fought. Have you
We
fought
haven't fought
Miami yet?
Miami. We haven't fought Miami yet, but they do have a team, Orlando and Miami. Yeah, 2 in Florida. We got 3 in Texas because it's big.
That'd be a real cool away trip right there. I love going to Miami. So any excuse to go to Miami, I'm like, hey, I'll head down there. I'll bring
I'm
it.
telling you, it's something different, and it's action packed because it's 1 round. You got a 1-round fight, and these boys and females, the females have been the best ones yet. You know, shout out to all my female fighters.
And yeah,
They've
you
been
might see
throwing
Nelson
them
Lopez
things.
popping his. Nelson Lopez said he wants to go and check it out in Miami. I know
Oh
he wants to
yeah,
come out there and check it out with you. I know he's interested in that. And for and
he's
I
been out
want
there last year. He got a lot of those fighters. They doing some crossover bare knuckle things. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
good for fighters. We getting jobs right now. Team
Oh,
Combat League
absolutely.
is giving out a lot of jobs for a lot of
Yeah,
fighters.
absolutely. Speaking of that, and I want to segue into something. I know we both share the passion. Of course, you do, being a former, world champion in the sport, boxing, man. So we
Man,
have had a couple good fights lately. Well, and some big fights. I don't know how
yeah,
good some of them are, but let's talk about the Boots Ennis versus Stanionis. Am I saying that
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Stanionis.
Stanionis. Yeah.
Right. So it was on the zone a couple Saturdays ago, and Boots, Boots took it to him, man. Let me see
Boots
right
does
here.
what
You got it.
Boots does. It was the perfect style matchup for Boots, in my opinion.
Absolutely, man. It
That
was.
was tailor made stylistically for Boots Ennis, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Well, they say Stanionis is like a Rocky Balboa clone. Well, I want to shout out to CEO Nelson Lopez. He did tell me before this fight, we were in Myrtle Beach doing the tryouts, and that fight was coming on that night. We were both watching it on my phone. And before the fight started, he said, Stanionis, he had been involved in training with him in the past. Good fighter, straightforward fighter, is going to come and give you the fight right in front of you. And Boots is going to tear him up with these outside uppercuts and
Uppercuts. That's exactly what it was.
And he ate him alive. Exactly what he said. So I mean, shout out to Nelson as always, making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. But hey, but he's a great wealth of knowledge. So there you go, Boo. Did you watch? Did you get to catch any of the fight?
Yeah, no, I caught the fight, and then like I said, it happened just how it happened. But what I didn't like after the fight is how people were making excuses like as if Boots was a weight bully. He's so much taller and he's so much bigger. There's like, stop. He made weight.
That's right. He definitely made
that
weight.
height has nothing to do. Like Stanionis is a big 147-pounder too. Like, cut it out.
They all are. Let's be honest here. They all are. Let's be real here.
I remember at a time, no one was saying that when the Charlos and Hurd and all them was at 154 and had to fight these big mugs. I'm like, bro, I used to be the big guy at 154.
Right. Exactly. And you weren't a big 154. So, but now you 165, and you could go back to 155 though. But
I can go back to 155.
And bare knuckle, you'd be a big one. Yeah. So
I'm with it. Come on.
Only thing I don't like about it is great young fighters. If you really like, you can say what you want. I think a year ago we had this conversation, and you said boxing ain't going nowhere. But you're right, because I'm more immersed in it now due to what we got going on with Global Combat now. Shout out to them and the Deontay Wilder fight coming June 27th at Wichita. Hey man,
hey look, boxing. With Deontay Wilder coming back, American heavyweight boxing comes back, and boxing can come back.
Exactly.
When the American heavyweights doing good, we all do good. So
we've been
money. Missing you, Deontay. You know what I'm saying? We got money back.
Shout out to the Bronze Bomber. I know he's a fan of BigFace because he put some stipulations there for me. My man, I appreciate
that's
you.
That's what's up.
So what I want to say is this, but there's a lot of great young fighters. Everyone protecting these imaginary zeros, man. These the win-loss records. I just think that happens too much. It's the promoters. Well, not Floyd. Floyd. Well, Floyd. Here's what Floyd did. He went off the path and made his own money his own way.
He did.
They can't do that. They're not gonna. Everyone can't do that, bro.
Just like how when Ali started talking his trash and
everybody started talking.
Everybody started talking their trash and just kind of
right.
biting off at Ali, but only one really can do it, and that's Ali. Floyd put the emphasis on that O, and that was his marketing plan.
My man says, what does Trout think? Put that back up again. What does Trout think of Dana White in boxing? What do you think about Dana White?
It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. What happened with Dana White, or what the rumor is that a lot of fighters can't make no real money in UFC because Dana White got a cap and he's holding on. But what I am looking at for what they've presented is that they're going to give boxing more of a middle class, right? It's a third world country. You have a few percentage that makes real good money, and just real good money, and then you have the rest that make nothing. There's not too many that make an honest living where they can just box and continue to box and make that living. You don't have to be the richest, but it's like, how many people can make a living just boxing? Only the few that make it rich, right? They make it extraordinarily big. So what he's presenting is a middle class for boxing, which if economy wise, if it's the same for countries, it can help strengthen boxing, where more people can make a living. You know what I'm saying? The top 10,
he's making it where
20,000, okay, or not even top 10, you make 20,000. I didn't make 10. I didn't make 5,000 until I got on ESPN, like my damn near 20th fight, and then I didn't make nothing after that, and then I didn't make past 20,000 until I had a belt. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you look at any card. I mean, there's guys on there fighting for 500, 1,200, 1,500 down at the bottom of that card. Even on televised cards, you see on DAZN, that guy on that prelim, man, he might be making $3,500. So well, there was an article speaking on Dana White, and I don't know their model over there. MMA's never been really my bag of tricks, but I will say this: out of the whatever multi hundreds of millions they made, they only paid 14.5% of that to the fighters. And I'm a fighter first person, and I'm not saying, you know what it is, ain't no Coliseum without the gladiators. That's and for me to have a fight league where only 14.5% is going to the fighters, you got a fucking problem, man.
That's a big problem because they are nothing without the fighters.
Come on, man.
If all the fighters came together and said, okay, no, we will not go.
And sometimes the arrogance when you sitting in press conferences after fights talking shit or talking down on a group of or a fighter or a particular fighter or whatever fight was born. Who the fuck are you, man? You get to be the star, but those are the stars. Those are the
ones that put in the time and the work.
You ain't a star. You getting? I'd love just one time, see that motherfucker get in there with them shorts on and have to run it.
With anybody, right? With anyone. Worst man on his roster.
One of the chicks. Put him in there with a chick. One of them chicks will whip his ass real quick. But no disrespect. I mean, this is gonna go. I'm gonna hear about this, but I just want to say that back on boxing, what we're saying. He's regulating, and I can see a model of that working, right?
Yeah.
I can see it working. But I do want to ask you more on what we're talking about here. So, Boots Ennis. So then Hearn, here comes his promoter, famous Eddie Hearn. We all love him, don't we? Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. He wants him to fight Brian Norman Jr. He of 34-0, 30 knockouts, great young fighter. Another one of those young fighters protecting his zero, right?
It means a lot. He's got a great work record.
He does, and he's still young. Maybe he's not ready for the Boots in his fight yet. You know what I mean? He wants him to get in there and get beat up by Boots, and he says, and what he's putting out there is, even if you lose, if you look good, it's still good for not good for you to take $500,000 less than you should give him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's rumors that it was 2.2 million out there originally, and now they want to give him 1.7 for that fight. And why would you take that fight?
Yeah, never mind. And the fact that he's already putting out there that you might lose, like, I don't need that energy.
Boots. But what would you think? I mean, right now, if they fought, I would be picking Boots. I would think Boots would be too strong.
I think Boots is too seasoned as well. I think Brian Norton needs to get a big fight or two under his belt.
Well, he's going to fight the Japanese kid Sasaka.
That's going to be some great experience because he probably got to go over there and do it.
Oh, yep. He's got to go fight him in Japan, right? Yep. And Boots, Boots is going back to Philly for the next fight after the embarrassment that he had against the last time he fought in Philly. He didn't look good. I forget that it's a real hard name to pronounce there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
try it.
It's like an Armenian name. All right. So, but he wants him to fight either Norman or Mario Barros.
So Barros is a good fight for Boots.
I think so. I think that's a more believable, makeable fight. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's the champ, the WBO champ at 147. So then they can combine those belts. I just like it.
It's a bigger fight.
Let's get these belts. I don't care what weight class it's in. Let's start getting these belts unified. Let's get a unified champion in every weight class. I know the WBC wants it because they're about to, like you said, there's rumors that all these other letters won't mean nothing.
They go. WBO we can start with the WBO first.
Yeah, we start with them first. We wipe our ass with that. So But I want to say
should
that.
be next. That the ABC is worthless as too.
But
As it is.
look at
And
it this way. No doubt that might be why you're starting to see some unification bouts, because they may be like, well, these belts ain't gonna be worth shit.
Let me go get my money.
Let me get my money now. Let's start
Yeah.
getting these. Yeah, the ripoff that is the sanctioning fees. You see them lurking around at boxing events. The WBC guy, the WBO guy, WBA guy. He's lurking around, waiting for a check.
What is the ABC doing? What is the American Boxing Council? What are they doing?
I'm not. Well, you would know more than me.
Nothing.
Champ. I
They
mean,
ain't doing nothing. They just let these belts do whatever they want, and
that is true.
That's
been
a
out of control.
government-funded organization. That's taxpayers' dollars. And I'm not a fan of Elon Musk like that, but Doge, if they want to look for a waste of money, look into the ABC. And honestly, the Muhammad Ali Act too.
I bet you would see some real funky shit if you really did look into that. You know what I mean? Some payoffs and this and that, because you know how dirty those letter organization is. All right, so I want to talk about one more thing before we get off the topic of boxing. Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a good fight. I think it's a crossroads fight for both of them, because even though technically Devin Haney's undefeated, technically,
come on, man.
We
all seen there ain't no Mandela effect on that.
They're both coming off a loss. Yeah. And he's hoping that the Mandela effect's real,
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
They're gonna Google it in a couple years. Oh, he was undefeated.
Yeah, there was no loss.
Go look, Google it.
It's gonna be gone. You're gonna wipe it off the digital. See, that's another thing. You ain't writing nothing down. They could just take your shit. So Ramirez Haney, he could trip up against Ramirez. This ain't no gimme fight, right?
And it's not like Ramirez didn't watch the Ryan Garcia fight, and it's not like he didn't learn what Devin Haney's susceptible to get punched with. And we really Haney learned what not to get hit with that left hook.
And what nobody's talking about, and I don't want to sleep on Haney. All of a sudden, Haney was a fantastic talented fighter going into that Garcia fight, and he's the same fighter coming out, but no one's ever the same fighter coming out, something like that. And what's this mentally done to him? People, he got literally drugged when he started trying to sue for that was going to sue and all this complaining. And the most people think, even though Garcia popped for the PEDs, they don't think it was a big deal. I'm gonna be honest with you. They took that,
which I think is bullshit too, because
it is.
Garcia being popped is just as despicable as Haney, like
true
filing a lawsuit.
Well, you probably feel more so. Probably more so to you as an athlete, as a member of the community, to be drugged up in the ring with you when you've been natural your whole career.
Exactly. That's it. I mean, like that Garcia shouldn't deserve a pass.
Okay, yeah.
He got one. A lot of these very popular athletes, they do get the pass.
Well, let's talk about speaking of that, something I read today. I want to ask your opinion on this. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. So I read that we had the Juggernaut Hunt versus Camozzi fight that was going to be in Italy, right? I was looking forward to it. Always looking forward to see Lorenzo. Shout out to Lorenzo Juggernaut Hunt. Always looking forward to see him fight, because a couple of years ago, man, he was one of the main reasons I really got to liking bare knuckle. I was watching that huge fight against Richmond, man. That just that's classic.
For me to come make my debut on that was crazy.
Right,
It was like I set it up with the good, beating up a Diego, and then
I was shocked that you were on that card. To be honest with you, I was like a young fan then, didn't know much about it, and was like Austin Trout. Oh my goodness, and then it was amazing. So I think it brought millions. My thing is, I think it brought millions of fans into the sport, right? And he's controversial. He takes his stances, against the company or whatever. He says what he wants to say when he wants to say it. But he got headbutted. They're saying he got headbutted in training, right? But Camozzi stated, and I should share it on my story. He says it on someone's post. He says, no, I heard he couldn't get the suspensions lifted to be able to have the fight. And that's why he pulled out. And they're calling the headbutt. Now, I saw the cut. Everybody saw the cut. Right. He got a big cut on his forehead. Looked like a bad enough. You get cut that close to a fight, you're out. I mean, you're out. You know that.
Looked pretty deep.
But that was kind of to say that, man.
It was weird to be like, why? What were you doing this close to a fight that you get cut?
Well, I mean, he's a little bit of, I'd chalk that up to just Juggernaut being Juggernaut, because you never see him rarely wear headgear. and he spars pretty actively, man.
All
He's a
right.
sparring guy. You know, it's a risk you wouldn't want him to take as a manager, but I can see him taking the risk, right?
But to get, I mean, just to say your suspension didn't get lifted, that's you could just
That was
say
out of
that.
That's what Camozzi
Yeah,
said.
right.
So,
But that seems like something you can just say that. But to get a
well,
whole gash in the forehead, you know, I don't think
that's right. I don't. Yeah, we're not. This ain't Ric Flair. You're not gonna go lay. You know, you're not gonna blade yourself. No, no, no.
Yeah.
And plus, let's be honest, promotions and all that, everything has been involved. Don't you think if they knew that was a possibility, this wouldn't even be here right now? So
They definitely went in and
No.
flew his ass out there.
I'd say it's the cut.
do
I'd
the-
say it's the
Yeah,
cut.
okay.
So I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring that up to you. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw that, and I
I'm-
know you
I'm
don't
a-
see a lot because you be
I'm
working.
gonna say no. I saw that. I'm gonna just say what you said. It's the cut.
Yeah. It's the cut. Exactly. Okay. Good. So one more time before we Connor Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. We haven't talked
Yeah,
about that
man.
yet. Okay. Fight that was supposed to happen in 2022, but
Yeah,
What
why didn't it happen? Why
Yeah, well,
did
we-
it not happen?
Dirty PP again.
Yeah.
I think you know there they
Again,
go.
for the first time.
Here we go.
And you know
Ruined it.
his father's disowning him for that slap with the egg, or like
Really?
not disowning him, but he basically said, you know, I'm not gonna work your corner. You know, you're acting like a mongrel.
That sounds like something he'd say. You're acting like a mongrel. acting like
And
a
I'm like, bro, like for that, come on, man. He's just selling the
You
fight.
got to
No
stand
way-
beside your son, man.
Yeah, and I think like, come on, dude, he's really trying to sell the fight. It's hard to give. You're fighting a dude that's 2 weight classes below you. You know what I mean? It's gonna be hard to sell this fight, even if your dad's had beef. And
That's
then
right, that's
Your
right.
dad kind of pulling out the beef that you're trying to like continue is wild. Like, Dad, I don't even care about this.
This is not Chris
I'm-
Eubanks Sr. versus Nigel Ben. You know, this is not the same thing, right?
It's
So
not.
I mean, and Ben isn't Ben much bigger than I mean, isn't there a
Yes.
size difference between these two fighters that's kind of crazy to me?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard to sell the fight. You got one that's like 2 weight classes smaller than the other.
He looks huge next to him. And the only reason they're really having this fight, let's be honest, is there was no bigger money fight for either one of them. This was the money. This is I don't know. Whatever the promoters get in their mind, because you and I know that there's a lot of great fights out there for fans that would be made that could be made money. But when we
Right.
say when people say, "Oh, that's the money fight," well, that's because that's what promoters want to see too. Promoters control what the money
Mhm.
fight gonna be and who they're working with and management and this and that. But I will say this, man. I've been watching a lot of the Zone lately because of the bare knuckle that's on there and stuff.
Right.
And they got some great fights
And
on
they,
there,
no,
man.
they throwing fights.
They
but
got
but
some
remember,
good
remember,
fights.
they're like the only act in town right now. No one else is throwing
But they have
fights.
all the fights, man. They have all the
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
Oh no, not the only.
ESPN's
We
almost
got
done.
BLK Prime, which they've got some fights coming up here. I have my notes. I moved my notes. Yep, that's right. And then for $5.99 a month, you get those. These ain't pay-per-view
Okay.
fights. You get these fights. And
Yeah.
you know, the Deontay Wilder exclusively on BLK Prime.
We're going
we were-
BLK Prime.
Yeah,
dude.
shout out to BLK Prime.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
but it's you see it more now. There's another one. Here it comes, and here another one comes. Here comes Trigon with another combat sports with the gloves.
Like I
You know what
said,
I'm saying? Here it comes,
for
here
a
it comes,
fighter,
here
it's a
it
good
comes.
time to get a job because all these hybrid sports, all these combat sports coming out in different leagues, it's great to take
Yes.
the monopoly away. And it's
And
gonna,
wouldn't you be-
it'll work
yes.
out for the fighter.
And as a young fighter, let's just say you come through an amateur system, you get your 5 fights. You could literally bounce around. You could fight 4 or 5 times a year in a glove,
Easily.
small glove sport, and then bounce into a bare knuckle sport, and then have another
Right.
fight 2 months. Absolutely, and
back.
make a living. This is what we're talking
Yes.
about. Because
Making
guys
a living.
can't fight enough. And as a fighter, you have a limited, like you've had a great long career, man. You've had the ability to come back and have a second career now. But a lot of fighters, they need to fight when they're young and in prime because that opens doors for other things. Use their expertise in fighting to do something else, which you know you
Coaching,
got announcements
managing,
coming in the future that are-
promoting,
Yep.
anything like that. I'm not the norm. I'm about to be
Commentating,
40
yeah.
years old, you know.
Yep,
and,
yep. Don't
still
look a day
going
over
strong.
29. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You haven't aged, man, since 2011. You look the same. You got looking at the flat top no more. The flat top.
God told me your hairline
God
will
said-
not be great, but he knew what he was
Hey,
doing.
He said, "I'm gonna give you a big face." He got the hairline for you. But,
Yeah.
So no, but yeah, man, absolutely, I agree 100%. So boxing is gone nowhere. It's getting very,
It's
but the
going
zones coverage of it is fantastic, man.
Yes, yes, and
I
then it's
gotta say,
revamping in other ways, like TCL, the Houston Hitmen.
that's right.
That's something that could I think it could replace boxing in the Olympics and have certain
Yeah,
countries
team. Oh man,
representing
that's
team
exciting.
boxing for the countries.
And
Um,
there's a team in Philly too. Shout out to
let's
my
Philly
guy up
Smoke.
there, USS. He's involved in that, I believe.
Steve Cunningham, yes
That's
sir.
right.
Shout out to
Yep. So
USS.
USS, Steve
Philly
Cunningham,
Smoke.
my man.
They're last year's champions. They're
Oh,
going to be
you're
this year's probably
always
runner up.
tough from Philly, man. They got that great boxing heritage there in Philly, bro.
They took over last season. We never fought them, but we're gonna see them this year.
Oh, here we go.
We're gonna see them this year.
So, have you been watching any of the NBA playoffs as we start to play in games? And you ever caught any of that?
A little bit, man. Well, I caught how Luca, how the general manager came out talking about he really regrets trading.
Oh
Luka.
man,
like
yeah, you should be fired. You never trade a 25-year-old superstar. I don't give a damn who you are. Okay. Well, they're still in trouble, man. Both the LA teams lost, the opening games here. The Clippers, which I think are pretty damn good too. The Lakers. And Golden State's looking pretty good, bro, with this Jimmy Buckets. Here comes Jimmy playoffs.
Cali teams, huh?
If you're going to get 40 and 40 from Steph and him, then you're not going to beat them boys. And they went down and stole the first game in Houston. They stole the first game, and nobody expected that. They might have stole the series with that.
Well, you can't never sleep on them. I'm riding for Houston all day.
Well, yeah, you got a tough. You did not want to see them in the first round. I would have not want to see the State in the first round. Steph was balling too, man. So first of all, everybody's like, "What are they talking about basketball?" Well, this is the No Doubt Sports Show. One, two. NBA can be whatever during the regular season, but when the playoffs,
when it's not time for the playoffs,
it's fun, man. It's fun. It gets nasty and chippy. There's no way. It looks like Boston's going to run through the East. That's what I expect. I expect them to run through the East. The real stories out here in the West, where you got Denver and OKC, and you got Denver fires the damn coach a week before the playoffs.
Yeah.
What
talking about that there's problems in paradise.
Ain't no paradise. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you think Djokovic is gonna, come on, man. I don't care how good a player you are. You can't if you're good, and the GM. So I'm thinking something bad happened.
Too. Yeah,
something happened behind
scandalous. We're gonna find out.
You ain't gonna hear about it till after they get knocked out the playoffs. And then all of a sudden it's gonna come out. We caught him in the janitor with the candlestick in the Emporium. What?
What?
You know what I'm saying? Something's gonna come out there because that's crazy. You never heard of no one. It's never happened before. Getting fired
because it shouldn't. That's the crazy. They gotta figure out a whole new system with a whole new coach.
And this is a dude who won a championship there. Took him to the finals. Took him to the finals in 2023, and you fired. So good luck with you. You're gonna get drummed out. You got there's a story about you got LA, both LAs, Golden State. Look at all the stories. They're all out west, man.
Yeah,
sad day for the East, man. Sad for the East.
New
and then the Celtics come back and win it all anyway. Go Celtics! I'm a Celtics fan, and then we don't matter because we're gonna come in the end and beat and win the title. So
they're the most winningest team franchise.
Well,
still,
come on, man.
Still to this.
I was born in Brockton, Massachusetts, so I get it. I get it honest, man. So I know, whatever. And when I was down here, we didn't have the Hornets till I was already a teenager when we got the Hornets. All right, so and then when we got the Hornets though. Hey, when we got Zoe, and when we had Zoe, and we had Grandmama, and we had Gil and Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues.
We had the squad. The squad was Charlotte Hornets back in the early 90s.
What was Grandmama's name for gold tooth and
Larry. I'm assuming what's him?
Not Larry.
Man, you're gonna make it ain't Larry, but you're gonna make. I know this man's name. And anyway, I ain't gonna be able to remember. UNLV running Rebels. UNLV running Rebels. The big dog. He was like a beast too, man. A monster of a player.
Yeah, big dude. But he can move.
Great season played with the Knicks after that and was a beast there too. But anyway, I can't remember his name now. That's crazy. But Grandmama, I remember that. Yeah, Larry Johnson. Sorry.
Larry Johnson, you're right.
There you go. I tell you, it was Larry. I know it was Larry.
You're right.
LJ with the gap in his teeth. Thank you, bro.
But no.
Man. So,
Hey,
man,
if
who
y'all see
knows?
me with golds in my mouth, you mind your business. I'm thinking about
Listen,
getting.
you might
I
see
mean,
me
I've
with
been
a
in Houston for a while, so I'm thinking about getting one in the
listen,
back
you
here or
about to see
something.
me with the whole brand new pearlies. That's what I'm about to get. Bump them
Well, no,
goals.
I'm about to get them permanent
Yeah, that's
joints.
what
You
you
know
need.
what I
Go to
mean?
see Paul Wall. Go down to San Antonio. I got my man we call Paul Wall. Get you the right.
All
You know, get
right.
Paul Wall, man. You're a superstar. You got to go down there with Paul Wall, man. That's what you got to
I'm
do.
just kind of breaking the ice now, so when you see me, don't make it a big
Okay,
deal.
yeah. Well, no, I won't be shocked. I won't be
All
shocked
right.
when you come out and you got the damn.
I gotta tell my mom too.
Yeah, you better tell her. Don't
I
tell
tell my
Big Face.
mama too. Yeah.
Tell Mom Dukes. Tell Mom Dukes. So we covered just about everything. You got anything you want to tell the audience, man? This is your show. I love to be a part of it, man. Once again, thank you so much
Yeah. Get
for
another
joining
cheap
me. Let's do
plug.
it.
Merit TV app. That's Dr. Phil's TV station. Merit TV. That's where the Team Combat League has been playing all weekend, every weekend. We fight Dallas this Friday. I want to say about 7 p.m. But again, Merit TV app is where you catch us. Tune in to some of the hot. If you like boxing, you're gonna get all the emotions of a fight within 3 minutes. Comebacks, letdowns, knockdowns, stoppages. We get everything, and we do it 24 times. So there's my cheap plug. And also, we didn't really talk about it, but we got to talk about it.
Right.
Bare knuckles breaking into Texas.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
legal.
So
It's
yes,
legal, man. It's and I got a whole bunch of killers that are ready to go, and they've been waiting for me to bring some type of tryout, and so I'm so excited.
well,
We need a
speaking of
date.
that,
We need a
so
date.
yeah. Have they dropped the exact date yet, or they had dropped the month? Didn't they say June? I thought they said June.
End of May, maybe early June.
Okay.
So I know that there's like a clinic, licensing clinic going on in May.
Yeah, that's
Which
right.
is great.
That's right. It's Sean Wheelock
Sean
is coming down.
Wheelock, shout out to
Right?
Sean.
Man, shout out Sean. Yeah,
I'll be helping whatever
no
Sean
doubt.
needs. I'm there to help out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be bringing a whole busload of people to come get certified.
So also speaking of that, Trigon Combat will also be in Texas to do a tryout, looking for amateur fighters for their upcoming league. So that'll be good. Texas is about to be blowing up down there.
Okay, and you're looking for amateur fighters. I got some guys that are ready to turn pro, but they are amateurs. So that
well, let them get their 4 or 5 fights really quickly in a couple months, and we'll have a tournament style where these kids will have an opportunity to win some real money at the end, to have a nice little contract to start their careers. Something what a lot of us did get. A whole year's worth of money where you can go and train and do your thing. So let me ask you about that. BKFC, if they have an event, do you have any fighters because I know you've been chomping at them to come to Texas?
I got fighters ready to go.
I'm
from
surprised they
heavyweights to
didn't put
lightweights,
that like
females and males alike. And I was trying to get them at some other ones, but they just seem not interested in Texas. Period. So I'm like, okay, now you are. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't mean to say this, but it seemed like anything my boss man's interested in, they'd be interested in all of a sudden.
Like Texas,
it just seems like it works that way. Absolutely.
This is one of those stand your ground states. So fist fights is okay. They have agreeable combat where if you say let's go outside, there's rules.
We can agree to mutual combat.
And when one falls, it's in the law. Like you can't leave them alone. They fell. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead and scrap that out, baby.
Listen, when I think of the two most free states, like the people with the biggest attitudes about freedom, I think about Florida and Texas. So when I heard
they love it in Florida. So
man,
shout out
they're
to
gonna love it in
Jessica
Texas.
Morgan. She had a highlight reel knockout, crazy.
The Black Widow. Hey, you got to
champ.
Shout out to Jessica Morgan because I did an interview with her, man, and what the first ever stone cold knockout in the females in bare knuckle, the first ever, man.
Yeah, she showed love and made me feel all fuzzy inside. Thank you.
Oh man, champ. she thinks you're fantastic, and especially when she was running around talking about this ain't boxing, this is bare knuckle, which is. And when I tell her when I was interviewing, I don't know if you saw that. When I was interviewing her, I quoted you. I said, "Well, about a year ago, Austin Trout told me. He said they don't care how well you can box until they know you can fight. You got to go in there and fight."
Right. She's true. It's true. It is same boxing. If you think you're just gonna sit there and pop shot, you're crazy. You better
You're not gonna sit out. And another thing, Hannah Rankin, man, fantastic female boxer, has fought Clarissa Shields, has fought elite level boxers, won a championship. But when you're fighting in a fist fight, a bare knuckle fight, you cannot come in without throwing punches. Like you can't come in like you would with boxing gloves with your hands clenched, looking to
catch
bob.
shots. Yeah, don't try to catch shots.
And that's what happened to her. She's coming in with the Queensberry, like this, keep staying low in the crouch, trying to make you extend. But this is bare knuckle, and Borga hits her with the one right. That's like a check, bow, and the second one was everything, and it was a crazy knockout. And shout out to Hannah, who's a warrior.
I love Hannah.
Man,
love Hannah Rankin.
How can you not love Hannah Rankin, bro? She's true warrior, the classical warrior.
Yeah.
And she not done either, by the way. She ain't done. She'll be back. And them big girls are just showing you they finally got the 145 big girls. And
they can hit. Hannah needs to come with me to Houston for a little bit.
Hey, that's what. Hey, you heard it there, Hannah. She watches the show.
Get you right.
Yeah,
especially with his bare knuckle.
Because if you'd have been like this instead of like this, you'd have caught that little, and you got to come in behind you. You know that
behind the jab and a little half step back. Yeah,
behind something. Just like at the Waffle House, I'm not coming at you with my hands down. I'm gonna be throwing something to get close to you because these are bare. There's no, and I've boxed as a young man, no experience to speak of, but I know that those gloves work well defensively. I feel comfortable to let you try to punch me.
Yeah,
I feel comfortable. But like this, I don't feel comfortable letting you hit me with anything.
But you're just gonna punch through my shit, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You better not trying to catch it. Which is
how y'all do, or grab the wrist, or touch, or knock it down, right? Knock it down. But there you heard it, man. Austin Trout giving a shout out to Jessica the Black Widow Borga. She definitely showed you the same love. Shout out to her. Great interview. You can check that out on the Big Face Show. Shameless plug there. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the Nelson Lopez Jr. show.
We all day, every day of the week.
We got every day of the week. We just need 1 or 2 more shows. No, I don't. I don't need no more shows. I don't need no. I'm good. I'm good. So, brother, you got anything you want to say to the fans before we close it out, man? Fantastic show, bro. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Merit TV. Houston Hitman. We got up Friday, whooping Dallas ass. You heard it here first. Hey, shout out to you, Big Face. I appreciate you.
My boy, my partner. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate it. I have fun doing this. We was having these conversations on the phone all the time, and I was like, bro, we might as well just have a show. We might as well just have a show.
You're right. Make some money off of it eventually.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, and you look at you. Look at you. The $1 million smile. You're still all right. Your face is still intact. You ain't beat.
Hey, can you believe Trinidad called me ugly? Trinidad, we're gonna fight again just for that. I'm you know what I mean? How dare,
young guy, man.
He called me.
So, hey, I'm gonna step out and let you close the show out. You the champ.
All right, he stepped right out. Hey, thank y'all for coming in and talking with me. This is No Doubt Sports. You catch me here again. We'll have some more juicy conversations to wet your whistles with. All right, later, y'all.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's you lost. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. So until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind, I'm in a
stop to this fight at 1 minute 44 seconds into round number 4. For your winner by TKO, Austin No